Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara, and on this channel I talk about all things makeup no-buy, project panning, and getting as much as you can out of your current makeup collection without going out and buying new stuff. So this is an exciting video. I mean, I feel like all project pan videos are exciting just by virtue of the fact that in most of them I finish off multiple products, and this time is no exception. So just to clarify, project panning is something that people do who are on YouTube. You know, you don't need to have a YouTube channel to do it. You can just do it by yourself. But basically, it is trying to use up your makeup and actually pan your individual products. So what I have done is selected 10 products that I try to finish over the course of a year. And last year in 2021, I had a rolling project pan, which just basically means that when I finish something, I would roll something else new in its place. And this current video is actually going to function as finale for 2021, but also as the first project pan video of 2022. So I thought it made more sense to actually not do two separate videos, like one wrapping up and then the next one introducing new items, but actually doing one showing everything that I finished from my most recent project pan and then showing which of those items I'm going to roll into the next one. So let's just get into it. Now, don't worry if you're like, but wait, I want to see all of the items that you finished throughout all of 2021. That video is coming, and I will particularly focus on project pan items because I feel like those are the most exciting. Those are the things that I like really intentionally panned. I'm a pretty accomplished project panner, or I just choose items that I'm like almost finished anyway, so it's like not that difficult to finish them. But because I didn't have any items that I finished in November, this next update, this January update, I have 5 items that I finished. Well, 4 and then 1 declutters, but 5 that are essentially leaving my collection. So let's talk about what those are. Before we get into it, just some quick housekeeping. I have a podcast, if you're not aware. We talk about movies, and in our most recent episode, we are actually talking about our favorite movies of the year of 2021 and what we're looking forward to watching in 2022, myself and my friend Cheryl. So I will link that episode down below. It was so much fun to talk about, and you guys know I love movies. I mean, I talk about books a lot, but I also talk about movies. All of that stuff will be linked below. We also have a YouTube channel. I would love it if you were able to check it out. That would be so kind of you. So let's get back into the video. First of all, I think we need to talk about this blush because blushes are a big deal. Like, just plain and simple, it takes a lot to finish a blush. I was panning this since I finished my last blush, which I believe was sometime in the spring. This is the e.l.f. Contouring Blush and Bronzing Powder. I think I did mention that I finished this in another one of my videos because I think I finished this at some point in December, like it has been a while. The bronzer is still there, but as you can see, that blush is completely finished. I can't get any more product out of that. So very happy that I finished this blush, and I think that this was the second blush that I finished this year. I did declutter quite a few, but this was the second one that I fully panned. Probably one of the oldest items in my collection, so I'm just glad to have gotten that out. Of course, there is that bronzer. I haven't decided if I will try to pan that. I should probably put it in my makeup bag at some point just to see how I feel about it, because honestly, I don't know. Like, there is a bit of a dip, but I really don't feel like I've used it that much, so I'm not sure. But I will make sure to right here show all of the pictures of this blush over the course of this year so you can see the progress that I made. Very happy about that one. It is a bit of a bummer though because I can't like get rid of this product yet, you know. It's kind of more thrilling when you're like, oh, done, it's out of my collection. This is still sticking around in my collection because of that other part. So my recommendation is if you are panning a duo, to do them both at the same time. You're still not going to finish them at the same time, but it's like more satisfying. Whatever, I'm still happy that I did it, obviously. Ironically, this next one also has multiple shades in it. It is a trio, not a duo, which is like even more going against my own advice. But I guess that's just something that I've learned from this project pan. So that middle shade was the one I was trying to pan, and I'm pretty sure I finished this like a couple days after my last update. And you can see how much pan I have on those other 2 colors. That other brown one, I thought maybe I would even finish by this point, but there's still quite a bit left in there. And it's super impressive because I had very little progress the last time that I updated you on this. You'll see about that. This brown shade, so really a lot of progress has been made over the past 2 months, so I think I can finish that off fairly quickly. But again, you will see right here, I will insert the pictures of the progress over time. The next one, I'm sure you are all happy to hear this. I finished the eyelid primer. Unfortunately, I don't have it here with me. I don't know what I was thinking. Usually when I finish products, I like put it away in a bag so that I don't get ahead of myself and get rid of it or pass it on to someone else before I've made sure that I've like filmed it in all of the videos that I need for that month, whether it be decluttering, empties, project pan, whatever. But for some reason, when I finished the product, I didn't put it in that bag. I instead brought it to my parents because I had this little stash of MAC stuff. If you finish 6 MAC things, you can trade it in and get a free one or something like that. And I have like 4 by now. Anyways, MAC is not cruelty free regardless, so I would not trade something in for a new product. I'm just hoping that at some point, by the time I have finished 6 products from them, MAC will have gone cruelty free. But there's absolutely no rush on that, so I don't know why I was so anxious to get that product to my little stash of stuff at my parents'. All this to say, I don't have it with me right now. I'm very sorry, but I did finish it and I was so happy to finish it. And actually the last little bit actually went by very, very quickly because I was just so anxious to get it done. I was using so much product every single day. I was like triple, quadruple layering it on my eyelid because I found that if I did that, it actually worked better as an eyelid primer. Like the more product I used, the more effective it was. Yeah, the last little bit I used up very, very quickly. But I'm so glad that that is out because now I have good eyelid primers that I can use, so all good on that front. Okay, this next one is a mascara. This is one of the oldest products in my collection, One by One by Maybelline. The writing has rubbed off. It was one of my favorites, but I just had this for so long and it wasn't finishing up. I feel like there's still a tiny bit of product left. Like if I sort of rub the brush on my thumb, you can see there's still some product there, but I was just over it. Like whenever I used this, it would dispense product on my lashes, but it was so little that I would have to combine it with another mascara, and by that point it's just like, why am I even having to use 2? Why don't I just use that other one? In the final weeks, I was actually using this as a brow gel just because there was so little left that I found it wasn't too dark on my eyebrows, and that worked well to use up some of the product. And that technique I've actually continued doing with a different mascara, so you might tell that my brows are looking particularly dark today. It is because I've continued doing this with other mascaras. You do have to use a really, really light hand unless you have very dark eyebrows, in which case I'm sure you've probably been using mascara as brow gel for your whole life. This is just something that occurred to me. But yeah, they're pretty dark, but I do actually really like the look, and it's somehow like more effective at making them sort of stay up and be fluffy than the brow gels that I currently own. So that's a revelation. But anyways, I just decided to call this done. It was time to part ways with it. And then the last product that I finished or decluttered from my Project Pan series is this NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Sparkle Leopard. This was also, it was just time to leave. I did actually try to use it quite a bit, but I found that it creased so badly on my eyelids. See how pretty that is? Even with good eyelid primer, that I was like, it's not worth it. I have that color many, many times over in my collection. Actually, last week's video, the color that I'm wearing on my lids is like basically that exact same color, but from a palette I have. So I will link that here if you want to see what it looks like. But yeah, pretty color, but there's no point in keeping it. I've had this for far too long. Also, what do I do with these ears? Do I like lay them flat? Do I point them up? Is that cute? Is that weird? I don't know. This is something I've owned for a long time and just like have not worn for ages. But it's kind of cute, right? I like it with the red lip and the black mock neck. Getting off topic here. I patted them back down. Okay, let's talk about the products that I was not successful in finishing. One of these I'm pretty disappointed about. The rest of them, it was kind of expected. First, I already showed you the brow thing, so obviously I didn't finish that other brown color, but I can expect that to be finished very soon. I'm happy with the progress there. Of course, you are probably all waiting to see this. No, I have not successfully managed to finish this Tarte foundation that I hate so much. It is actually what I'm wearing today, and I've just found ways to make it work even if I don't love the effect. I think that it looks fine on camera, and to be honest, it looks fine to other people. It's just if I like really, really look up close or if I do a bad job of blending, it's kind of a disaster. But yeah, you can see there's still quite a bit of product when I pull the wand out. So it's pretty difficult to tell how much is left, but I just have to hope that this will be done soon. That's all I can say. I was hoping to finish this by the end of the year, and it just did not happen, unfortunately. Okay, let's talk about this bronzer. This one I did not realistically think I would be able to finish by the end of the year either, but definitely more progress than the last time. I can see a couple more like little areas where there's pan, and it's just generally widened. So I will pop some pictures on the screen so you can see my progress there. When I started panning this, I didn't have any pan at all, so it's pretty impressive, but I do ultimately just want this out of my collection. It is very old. Okay, and this final blush, the e.l.f. one and this one, I was working on both of them for most of the year, but towards the second half of the year I was really just focusing on the e.l.f. one, and so this one got a bit neglected with how much panning I was doing, and that was because I liked this one better, so I just didn't really want to use it up. So I don't think that there will have been much progress over the last little while, although I did use it on occasion. You can look at the pictures to see. I actually don't know how much progress I've made over the last like 4 months on this, but I don't think it will have been much. And then we have this Stinkbug Deodorant. I'm still, you know, working away at this thing. I probably use it once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, and I don't think I've made too much progress. There's definitely progress that's been made, but there's still so much left because I do not love this deodorant and I do not love its scent or how it feels on my underarms, unfortunately. And then the last product is this liner from Wet n Wild, Color Icon. It's just a brown color. It's got a bit of a sparkle or a bit of a shimmer in it. I don't love this, but I think it's a fine eyeliner. And I have been tracking my progress. So this was the first roll in there, and then you can see the next one there, and just this time here, just now, I made that mark. And it's interesting because I feel like between the first two markings, I felt like I had barely used this, like maybe only a couple of times. So I was really surprised to see that there had been any progress. If there hadn't been any progress, I would have just taken it out of the project, but because there was, I was incentivized to continue. But this time I felt like I was using this judiciously all the time because I really, really wanted to see progress on it, and it's not even that much more progress than I had the first time. So that's kind of funny, but it's okay. I'm making progress on this. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, so that's all there is to say about that. I'm happy to be able to mark progress on this because it's the only product in here where I can sort of see that visual progress in this way. So those are all of the products that I talked about in my previous project pan video from 2021, but let's get into the new roll-ins and what I will actually be planning to pan in 2022. Let's talk about the new roll-ins first, just for some excitement, because I feel like I've been talking about the same products for ages, and there are some products that I'm going to feature in this project pan in 2022 that were also in 2021, but don't worry, there's quite a few new products, so you can stay invested in the products that I didn't finish, but also get reinvested in some new ones, if that makes sense. So first of all, I have talked about these in a few videos recently. These are the e.l.f. Shimmer Sheets. I do think I've figured out how to use these. So basically, here's an example of a shimmer sheet. So there are 20 of these, and it is a blush sheet. So I thought you were just supposed to like rub it on your face. That really was not working for me. It meant that there was just like little chunks of pink shimmer, and then I would have to like really, really try to blend it out, which didn't work well. But I found that I can actually take my brush and sort of dab it on here, gather the product, and then dispense it onto my cheek, and that works much better because I was following the directions. It says to remove a single sheet and press the shimmer side of the paper on the apples of the cheeks. That's what I was doing, and that did not work for me at all. So if you have any products like this, I would recommend doing it the way that I have suggested. I don't think that anyone else in the world owns these anymore, but if you happen to. I'm actually wearing this today. I wanted to see how it would show up on camera because it is kind of like a purpley color. Very, very shimmery. It's not my favorite, but it is different from most of the blushes that I own. So there's that. Each one takes up about 2 or 3 days of use. If I use this diligently, maybe by like the March update, I could have it done. It just depends how quickly I tire of these. We'll see. And then the next one is this Covergirl Nature Luxe Mousse Mascara. So I have this in a waterproof and a non-waterproof color. I want to finish off the non-waterproof one first. I think this is actually a pretty good mascara, and this is the one that I used in my brows today as brow gel, but I've just simply had it for too long, so I want to get that out. I just figure it's good to have a mascara in my project pan because I have such a large collection of mascaras, so I want that to regularly be part of what I'm trying to pan. The next one is this lip product. It's kind of broken, but I actually have used quite a bit of it. This is all that's left. I don't mind this. The issue is that the formula doesn't stay on at all. Like, it rubs off super, super quickly. Direct contrast to this red lip, which, like, I could do anything and it's going to stay on for ages. This one doesn't, just because it's such a creamy formula and probably not as good quality. But I have used up quite a bit of it, especially in the past couple weeks. I've really been working on it. So I think that if I'm dedicated, I could get this done by the March update as well. Maybe I'm being over optimistic here, but I'm really hoping that the next update, the March one, I will have a lot of products that I will have panned. We'll see how it goes. And then the last new roll-ins are skincare products. So I usually like to feature one product in each project pan that is not makeup, whether it be like that deodorant or skincare, hair care, body care, something like that. So this is actually two products, but I'm going to kind of count it as one. It is the Ordinary Buffet and Niacinamide serums. So I actually really like these when I first purchased them, but then about 6 months after I did, my skin was like kind of going through a weird phase, so I stopped using anything that wasn't strictly necessary. Like, I used cleanser and moisturizer and that was basically it, but I cut out all of my serums for quite a few months, and I've only just reached back and started using these again in the past few months, and I kind of think that they're bordering on expiration. I know that it says keep it open for 12 months. As always, I take that with a grain of salt. I generally think that the expiration dates on anything, whether it's like food or skincare, makeup, can be pushed a little bit. However, these are just at about the 12-month mark, and I don't know, like, let me know if the Ordinary is more accurate with their expiration dates than other brands, because I don't know, I feel like the formula has changed a little bit for this one. The Buffet one seems fine, but yeah, let me know if you have any experience with that, because I would like to use those ones up ASAP. I'm getting better at it, but it is hard to add another thing into my skincare routine. Now let's talk about the things that I'm rolling in that have already been in my project pan in 2021. So obviously I didn't finish this foundation. I really want to finish this foundation, so I will be continuing to pan this, see how it goes. I update these videos every 2 months, so at the beginning of March, I really better be done this. Like, if I'm not done, oof, that will not be great. The next one is, of course, this bronzer. As I mentioned, I do want to get this out of my collection, so I will be keeping this in the project until I finish it, I think. The next one is this brown liner. As I said, I'm enjoying working on it, so I'm just going to keep this in the project pan. Maybe not until I finish it, but we'll see how far I can get with it. Again, I mentioned that I have not finished this brow kit, and I would like to. I'm going to put both of those shades, can I call them shades, into the project, and this brown one I think will be easy to finish up. This white one probably not as simple, but I am hoping to have those both done next year. And then I do have two rollouts, so two things that I didn't finish in 2021 for my project pan that I will not be featuring in my 2022 project pan. First of all, this blush. I just kind of want to get some more use out of the other blushes in my collection, because when I did my makeup inventory, I realized that there was a ton of blushes that I didn't really have much familiarity with, and there was like 5 right away that I was like, I don't really like these very much. Should I declutter them? So I want to try to get some use out of those and see if I should declutter them or try to pan one of those. And then also this Stinkbug. I mean, I will still continue trying to use this once a week or so, but the progress I'm making on this is just so slow that there's no point talking about it in every video. I'll just let you know when I eventually do finish it, if in fact I do. And I'm not going to tease you every month being like, I think I can do it this time. I think I can do it. No, I think eventually I can do it, but not anytime soon. So that was my 2021 project pan finale and my 2022 project pan introduction. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know how you think I did overall in my project pan. And again, if you want to see all the products that I finished from my 2021 project pan, that video is coming. But let's talk about a book that I've been reading lately, because I talk about this at the end of every single video. And in 2021, I read over 75 books, which is a new record for me. I think the past couple of years I've been hovering around 70 for like the past 2 or 3 years. But this time I read a couple more, so that was exciting. I think it's because I'm a student now, and so some of those were textbooks that I just had to read. So I don't have this book anymore. I had to take it back to the library, but it is called The Guide by Peter Heller. I will pop up a picture right here. It is kind of a sequel to his previous book, The River, which I did not read. You don't have to read that first book in order to read this one, and The River didn't sound as interesting to me as The Guide, which is why I didn't read it. But The Guide is about a fisherman type person. Like, he basically leads people on fishing expeditions, but he's also very intelligent and well-read, just, you know, one of those kind of characters. And he discovers at this fishing lodge that he's working at, there's some weird stuff going on, so there's some funny business. It's kind of futuristic. There has been multiple pandemics that have taken over the globe, so that's kind of in the background, in the periphery. This was really interesting, and there was some segments of writing. I feel like I read good books, but there was something about this book that some turns of phrase or some ways that the author wrote, I was like, wow, like this is really, really good writing, and I hadn't really felt that way for a while. It wasn't one of my favorite books overall, but I just thought that the author really, really had a way with words. Quite an enjoyable read. The ending was interesting, but I would definitely recommend it if that kind of like wildernessy background adventure type book is up your alley. I did really enjoy it. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. This has been my Project Pan finale and introduction, and I will talk to you next time.